Okay, folks. Alright, this is the thing. I just found out that, this is the thing. It's like you people are divided by, sides. Okay? Quote unquote conservative and quote unquote liberal. Well, this is the thing, folks. Guess why you people are being dominated by evil forces is because you're too dumb to realize that, exactly what's going on. Or people know and they just don't care. Which I think is just a bigger issue, if not more so, folks, okay? Listen. I'm angry. I'm upset that, so many people have been coming after me, like, in the spirit. And not just physically, but in the spirit, too. Because it has happened physically, too, folks. Okay? Listen, I'm not a supporter of the KKK. But at the same time, a lot of people of different races are attacking me because I'm white. And I don't like that. I don't like that, folks. Okay? There's no honor among thieves, folks. So the people that have stolen, not just from my womb, because David was not supposed to be with anybody but me, folks. He was supposed to wait on me. Okay? He did not wait on God's timing, just like that damned Israel in the Middle East. They have not been waiting on God, folks. And that's when disaster strikes, okay? It's never good to not wait on God's timing for things, okay? Because all that means is that whoever has not waited on God's timing, they're set up for death and destruction. Because that's not from God. It's not from God, folks. Okay? Listen. There is this one, and no, you can't have tattoos and call yourself a child of Yahweh, folks. Okay? I'm Yahweh, by the way. Hi. Okay? You can't have tattoos. You can't be coveting my husband. He's nothing to write home about, folks. Okay? I'm talking about David, my servant. Okay? He's not a nice guy. He's not. He's actually kind of evil. I'm gonna be honest with you, David, okay? Your parents did not raise you right, okay? And there is a reason, yes, your father died before he was even 70. Not only was his mouth full of curses, he cursed like a sailor, folks, okay? And yeah, he was a Marine too, apparently. Go figure. Go figure that one out. Yeah, it's pretty easy. But, yeah. He cursed like a sailor, and he helped convince my servant David to try to ruin God's covenant with him. Marriage covenant, folks. It's a marriage covenant. Okay? That was a cursed whore, David. That was a cursed whore. It's not a child of God. Listen, folks. The one true living God only sends you one person to marry, to procreate with, to be intimate with. Okay? The rest are sent by Satan. Okay? The rest are sent by the devil. Okay? So yeah, it was actually his piece of shit father, and his mom taught him to be a hoe. His mother taught him to be a whore, basically. Permitting sleepovers as like, what, you were 12 or 13, David, with members of the opposite sex? Who the fuck does that shit? That's devil work. And yeah, your mom's in hell because of it, okay? And so is your dad. They did not... Yeah, they were supposed to raise him properly. Fuck you, whore, go ahead. Okay? Raising my servant properly includes raising him to respect his body, his temple, and not be a cursed whore, because I don't care who you are. That are sexually promiscuous, and people who don't respect God's covenant with her servant David, those people die. Those people die, folks. Okay? They don't have a long life, and they don't have a good life either. Okay? You know, I don't appreciate people creating abominations against God's will, because that's a dog. He tried bringing a dog into my marriage covenant, folks. And I'm a one man to one woman for life, God, okay? One man to one woman for life, okay? That's what I do. Anything else is not sent from God. It's a trap, basically. It's a trap. Okay? It's a trap. So, anybody that Dave got with that's not me, that's a trap. Okay? That was a trap to ensnare him in hell. And it looks like, hey, is it working? Well, you're going to hell too, hoes. You're not, I was sent to get David out of hell. And I'm just sick of the back talk and the disrespect. I mean, men don't do that. People going to hell do, though. People with shortened lives do that to me. Okay? You attack me, you think I'm gonna save you? I'm past that now, folks. Okay? There's no honor among thieves. Okay? And there's no honor among the ignorant either. Okay? So if you're out there doing damage, even in ignorance, it doesn't matter. You're still not welcome. You're not welcome at all. Okay? The wages for sin are death, and the cursed whores and the cursed rotten fruits are getting exactly what they asked for, okay? Thank you. Okay, folks, this is the thing, and I want to clarify this, okay? Because I shall decree a thing, and it shall be established. Okay? Not just for me, but for the world. Okay? This is the thing. God gives you one spouse. God makes the perfect person for you. Okay? One. Just one of the opposite sex, folks. That's it. Okay? This is the thing. when you have kids that are not from the God-ordained spouse, those are not children of God, folks. Those are children of the serpent. Okay? Those are serpent seed abominations. That's why these people having kids with all these, with people other than their God-ordained spouse, even if they are quote-unquote married, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, folks. Those are children of the serpent to take you away from God's path for your life. Okay? That's all. They are serpent seed, and they are sent to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay? I'm not joking, folks. I am not joking at all. Okay? It is true. Yes. And there's been mixing of that, but I'm here to go ahead and separate the serpent seed away from the wheat. Okay? I don't suffer people on demonic assignment against the God-ordained pairings to live, or the children. Okay? That's not what I do, folks. That's not what I do. Okay? God gives you one spouse. They are always of the opposite sex. And yes, God makes them especially for you. So for people to reject that, that's not, no, that's unacceptable, and it's not sticking around, okay? None of it, folks. Okay? We're here to purge those abominations and serpent seed kids. Those are not children made in God's image, folks. Okay? Noah seemed to get this correct, so not sure what the problem is with David and everybody else. Why it's so, you get one person of the opposite sex to procreate with, folks. Okay? Anything else is serpent seed. And it is not welcome on this planet, folks. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, and I've been stolen from, folks. Okay? I'm not keeping around. Yeah. Take it up, read it. You see that plant that's just sitting there dry on the pavement? That weed that was sitting there dried up on the pavement, that's what the people. Yeah, you saw that weed dried up on the pavement? That is exactly what the females and their serpent seed kids get to look forward to. Okay? Yeah, those aren't any child that I did not birth personally is not a child of God. It's not made in God's image. It is serpent seed. Okay? And the serpent seeds are here to be purged. Okay? I warned people, don't do that. And yeah, there's, it's kind of interesting too, because I went to school with this one female who's a nurse, ironically. I think she wanted to be a child of God, but her behavior pretty much excludes her from the kingdom. Yeah, even after she got saved from a knife attack. Anyways, only one of those. So anyway, she got married. She had 2 boys with this redneck guy. They did get divorced, and then she went on to have like 3 or 4 more kids with somebody else. So she's got to make a decision. Well, no, actually, that decision was already made for her. One of those fathers is not a child. That's serpent seed. You made serpent seeds. How dumb is that? This is pretty fucking dumb. Okay? God doesn't send you 2 men to procreate with. God doesn't send you 2 women or 3 women or whatever. No, God sent you 1 to procreate with. Anything else getting thrown in the trash, folks. Okay? I'm not playing Save a Hoe. I'm not playing, save the rotten fruits of the cursed horse. No. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I'm here to do at all. They're going away. They're going bye-bye. Okay? They're going into the pit, which they dug for the righteous, folks. Okay? I'm serious. I am absolutely serious. Okay? Does God take smokers to heaven? No. Not if they die and they're a smoker still. Absolutely not. You got to quit that before you die. Otherwise, well, yeah, and you got to make sure that you don't have any other things that are demons that are wanting you, because they'll still take you. Especially if you coveted my servant David for any reason at any time. Okay? Well, I mean, hey, these females that got on my servant aren't as innocent as they probably want to proclaim themselves to be. Okay? No, I'm not saving anybody that has ever touched my servant David in an intimate marital way. Okay? You get the Lord's wrath. I don't care if you repented, because I know it wasn't genuine. I know 100% that it was not genuine. Okay? So you get wrecked. Okay? And so do your cursed rotten fruits, because those are not made in my image. Okay? That's the thing. When you have kids with anybody other than your one and only God-ordained spouse, you're making a permanent decision to attack God. So what do you think's going to happen? That's why abortion is legal, and that's why these conservatives, they wanted to try to shut me up, because for the time being, I am okay with abortion being legal. Okay? If people just stayed with their one and only God-ordained spouse, that you would not be having the need for abortions on this planet. People wouldn't, it just wouldn't be a thing, okay? That's what it's for. It's for people not obeying God's will on who I said to be with, okay? And that has affected the righteous. That has absolutely, it's affected me and my family and God's will for my life in a very not so good way. People getting with my servant David. No, it's folks, this is why God flooded the earth in the first place. That's why God flooded the earth in the first place, is people getting with people that God never intended them to be with. Okay? And David's done it to me twice now, which is just it's just so unacceptable. It is so evil. Yes, they do get the Lord's wrath, they get the Antichrist wrath, they get just extreme total destruction, because that's what they deserve. Okay? I don't share my glory or my husband with another. Okay? And if that means that, I mean, honestly, I just have a few some of the targets got really close to God, folks. And that's, hey, no, I don't suffer witches or devils or any kid not made in God's image to live, okay? We're just going to go that far, because that's what was done to me. That's what you're getting back, okay? I'm not joking, folks, okay? You either make your children, you either have them with your God-ordained spouse only, or you ain't gonna like the outcome. Let's just say it that way, okay? But me and my children will be pleased. I will say that, okay? Okay, folks, no. This is the thing, with the Bible, things have not changed. That's the thing, they have not changed. And the people that say that, oh yeah, they can get tattoos now or something. No, you're still opening up a demonic portal. That hasn't changed. That's why I said don't do that. You're opening up a portal for demonic oppression when you get tattoos, folks. Okay? That doesn't change. That does not change, okay? No, don't. You're like basically thinking that that's lawlessness, to think that you're not bound by these laws anymore. No, that's lawlessness, okay? No, those are demonic portals. And if you're serious about truly being saved, and you haven't already attacked me otherwise regarding my covenant, my eternal marriage covenant with my servant David, then get rid of them. Otherwise, I mean, you're screwed anyways. Okay? I'm not playing save-a-hole, folks. Okay? It's not who I am. Okay? You attacked my covenant. It's just too bad. Seriously, too bad. Too freaking stinking bad. Okay? Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm alright.
What's that? Can I get 2 of the green Revs and 1 blue?
Alright, and then the coffees. Alright, that's gonna be $22.38.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I'm ready for the Claritin to kick in, that's for sure.
It's allergy season here, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I was wondering. Hey, you don't happen to have a bag or anything, do you?
Let me check.
Okay.
There's that.
Oh, thank you.
Didn't want to say anything before I checked because I never know if we're out or not.
Okay. Cool.
You have a
All
great
set? Okay. Thank you. All right.
Hello, how are you? Is that all for you?
Good one. Cool. Yeah. Anybody trying to attach themselves to the body of Christ, and I already said no, you're getting chewed up and spit out. Okay? That's your reward. Nope. I do not uphold hoes or their abominations or their serpent seed kids with my righteous right hand. Absolutely not. Okay? I'm not here to save people who betrayed me in the worst way possible, folks. They're just... they set themselves up for their own damn destruction. Okay? That's what they did. That's what they did. They set their own selves up for their own destruction, folks. Hey, you know, I said touch not, and what did you do? Okay? Why are you people thinking I'm okay with anything other than one man to one woman for life? I'm serious. What's going on with that? And people stole from me, and then you think I'm going to save you? No. Okay? I can't believe that people actually thought that they could go try to destroy me mentally and emotionally and spiritually and even physically, and I'm gonna... No, absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. People are, And I'm not here to save the wicked who covet my husband, okay? I'll keep saying it until they finally die. They don't have much longer, folks, so... because their reward's coming and it's not good. Okay? And yeah, you need to stop trying to put these marine crowns on me, folks. Okay? I'm not from SeaWorld. Okay? The Lord Stephanie is not from SeaWorld. Okay? Stephanie is not from SeaWorld, folks. Okay? Guess who's from SeaWorld? The cursed boars and the cursed rotten fruits. Okay? So that would be Sarah, Jody, Patricia, and Decline. Are all being scattered unto desolation. They're not gonna make it, folks. I already told David that. Hey, he was warned. And he bowed to the pressure of his family, so I cursed his family for trying to divert my servant away from me, for how they raised him too, because what the fuck? You raised a pig. You raised a pig. And you want me to... No. You raised a frickin' pig. Okay? Anybody having kids with anybody other than their God-ordained spouse is nothing but a cursed piece of shit pig to me, folks. Okay? And I gotta curse people that have ever tried endangering my covenant with David, or my biological children, or myself. I mean, is David gonna make it? I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I'm sick of crying, and I'm not gonna be suffering for evil people any longer. Okay? I am not suffering for another, and my children, my biological children aren't either, and nobody in my bloodline is paying the price for what you people have done against me. Okay, you gotta pay for that yourself. Okay, and there's no salvation. No, there's no hope. I'm not here to lie and say, oh, no, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it is not. Never has been, and it never will be, folks. Okay. Okay? That's what Armageddon is about, is destroying the people that have come against my eternal marriage covenant with my servant David and anybody else out there that's been attacking God-ordained marriages, folks. Okay? That's the biggest problem, because that's how Nephilim are created. That's how you create Nephilim, is when you go against God's will on who to procreate with. That's the biggest problem facing this world today. And then the cursed bitch, the dog bitch, rotten fruit, dared to try to surprise me. That abomination. And David was part of it too, so David's guilty too. There's a lot of people guilty on 34 counts, folks. And no, you cannot escape God's wrath. When you try to escape it, it just gets worse for you, folks. Okay, so it's better to go to prison. It's better to die when I tell you to, than to try to stick around. Okay? It's better to go when you're told to leave than to try to stick around, because otherwise it's going to be even worse. It's going to be even worse. Okay? It's going to be way worse than it ever was. Okay? It's going to be way worse. And no, I'm not saving people that attack me personally. If you allowed yourself to be a vehicle for demons to attack my covenant, that's on you. There's no way out of that trap. You set that trap for yourself, hoes. Okay? You know, I wish David, you know, and I had him survive a botched surgery. So, for him to still be doing this, I mean, he chilled out for like a few months, and then he was back to his old ways. So, it's a very deep problem within David. So, you know, the whole thing with free will with humans and stuff, I'm getting kind of sick of it myself. I really am. I really am just getting sick of people fucking up, because that's all you people do. It's like humans are experts at fucking up. That's what they're experts at. Nothing good. Okay? There's nothing good that comes from humans, not including God in things, folks. And no, you can't I'm at the top. Okay? David is my servant, and he is above all the kings because he's, and all the leaders of the world, because of who he's with. Me. Okay? It has nothing to do. He only has that because he's with me. Okay? That's why. Yes, it does matter who you are married to, folks. It can make or break you. And who you have kids with can make or break you too. Okay? And for the cursed whores that were dumb enough to covet my husband, it'll break them. And not just break them, it will destroy them and burn them to ashes. Okay? Because that's what they get. Okay? I'm not to be mocked. God is not to be mocked. Okay? And I'm not to be stolen from either. So, the people dumb enough to steal from my womb, God's making an utter end of all of you and your cursed rotten fruits, because those are not blessings, those are curses. Okay? I'm just calling it what it is. Those are not blessings, those are abominations. And yes, they are getting their death wish. That's judgment, that's justice for the righteous, okay? I'm not here to be comforting people with lies, folks, okay? Hey, you know, the people dumb enough to covet my husband, they're getting exactly what they deserve, which is death. I'm not here to be soft on crime, folks. And yes, cheating on your spouse is a crime. It should be punishable by death still. Okay? Because that's what happens. They don't live long, folks. I mean, God will get rid of you for being a piece of shit. Why do you think JFK got shot? That's exactly why he got shot. That was the main reason. And the piece of shit that took his spot, the Johnson hoe, he didn't live long either, and he's a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. Dave used to work in that building that his wife bought. They used to be a radio station, and then they turned it to a YMCA, and then they turned it to I don't know. But anyways, I could sense the horrible things that went on in there when David used to work there. And I said, oh my God, that is so disgusting. That piece of shit died and he went straight to hell. Because that's where pieces of shit like that belong. Okay? They get tortured for eternity. Because that's what they deserve. I mean, folks, your actions and behaviors and stuff, people are thinking that doing this bad stuff is okay and it's going to be forgiven. But God has a point too where she says absolutely not. And that point was reached a long time ago, folks. Okay? It was reached a while ago. Okay? I'm not suffering trash to live. Okay? Human trash. That's the majority of the world today. And these Hollywood actors and stuff and the musicians, they're all from... Listen, that's a rebellion against God too. It's a rebellion against God, and it's not tolerated, folks. Okay? I'm not giving any of those people what they want. They sold out. Okay? I can't save any of them. I refuse. Okay? Because of their rebellion. Okay? They're going to the pit, folks. And if you follow them, you're going to be joining them too. That's why I said, get out of her. Get out of her. Okay? They're trying to lead you to hell. And that damn, that poster that, ugh, it's disgusting. I don't like Beatles, folks. Those are, okay, they're in hell. Elvis is in hell, okay? Yes, he died back in the day. He's not alive. He's dead. Okay? Stop trying to talk to the dead. Stop idolizing people that are... Their mission is to send you to hell, folks. Okay? Their mission is to send you to hell. Same with anybody, any of these cursed whores, or anybody that's not your God-ordained spouse that's trying to seduce you away from God's plan for your life. They're from hell. They're on a demonic assignment, folks. So you're not doing yourself any favors by rebelling against God's command to stay faithful to your one and only God-ordained spouse. You're not doing yourself any favors. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're God's people or not. Okay? This applies to everybody. This applies to everyone. Okay? You're not doing yourself any favors. You think you're getting revenge on your spouse? You're sending yourself to the pit. That's how stupid that is. That's how stupid that is, okay? And people, listen, it's bad enough if you have one divorce under your belt, but when you got two, no, I don't take those types, okay? I'm looking for quality, righteous people, not pieces of shit, okay? Not pieces of shit, folks. Okay? For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Okay? There is nobody on their third marriage that's going to heaven, folks. Nope. Ain't nobody on their third marriage going to heaven. Or anybody that's created rotten fruit against God-ordained pairings. They're not going to heaven either. And neither are them rotten fruits, folks. They're all going to hell. Okay? They are all going to hell. Okay? That, yeah, and part of the reason, listen, I would like to bring Abraham back and give him a brand new wife, because that, I can't bless, listen, Sarah came back and she chose to be a child of the devil, so, I mean, there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can do. Same with that cursed piece of shit. That other cursed piece of shit that David had on me. Those are not made in God's image, folks. They're going to hell. They're going to die early, okay? Solomon was an idiot, by the way. It wasn't my will, folks. And guess what? When things aren't my will, it never ends good. It never ends good, and it's never good in the middle either. It's never good. Anything that's not my will, when you people try to override God's will, it always ends in disaster. Okay? Every single time. And people are still so stupid that they haven't learned this. Okay? It's never good when you try to usurp my will, folks. Okay? Especially for things so major like that. I mean, that's just... You people are condemning yourselves. Okay. I'm not saving anybody who does that. Okay? No. The whole Trump thing, that guy, yeah, that guy's, I told you who he is, and people still wanted to. I said, listen, I will heal this nation. Of course I have to be leading, not anybody else, because I'm the only one that can do it, folks. And they ignored. They mocked, they denied the Holy Spirit. So that's why everything is looking so bad right now. That's why everything's looking so bad. It's because of people that have rejected me personally, which is a lot of people. Okay? I'm not here to suffer for anybody's iniquities anymore, folks. Okay? It's just not happening. Okay? Obedience is very important, folks. Okay? You people think that that's the dumbest thing, is that these people who are saying that, oh, you know, these certain laws were done away with. That's lawlessness, folks. That is absolute lawlessness. Saying that, oh, you can get tattoos, you can do no. 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 No, that is lawlessness, folks. Okay? Saying that these prohibitions on how to act, what to do, what to eat, that's lawlessness. And so many people just buy into it. And I'm not saving them, folks. I'm letting them go into the pit. Okay, then. You want to go in the pit? I ain't gonna miss you because of how you've been acting towards me and rejecting me. Okay? Some people claim they're saved or they're anointed. No, they're not. No, they're not. Okay? If you have to publicly declare that, that means that you're not. Yeah, anybody that's ever declared that they're saved publicly, it very likely no. They're just trying to put on a show, a shit show, and they're cursing themselves. Okay? Their prayers turn into sin and destruction upon their own heads. Okay? No. You don't need to tell people you're anointed. If you're anointed, you'll know, and you won't be saying, I'm anointed. No, the fuck you're not. No, the fuck you're not, hoes. Nope. Anybody declaring that publicly, that they're saved, no. And these people with this rap music need to shut the fuck up. Okay? That is Satan, folks. Okay? Guess what? Devils come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Okay? Yeah, Disney. I hate Disney, folks. It's horrible. It's an abomination. It really is. And it has no place on this planet any longer. Fucking these stupid ass cartoon things. Mm-mm. You gotta be careful with these cartoons, folks, because, yeah. In these cartoon characters and stuff, a lot of times those are things to kind of program your mind, folks, okay? Cartoons are not your friend. Superheroes are not your friend, okay? They're not. Okay? They're outside with the dog, so be very careful with that. Okay? Be very careful with that. Okay? And all these movies and stuff. Who's that one little green monster? Yoda? Folks, seriously, come on. People are taking, like, your wisdom from a cartoon character from hell. And you're not listening to true wisdom. Okay? They cannot duplicate God. No. Nobody can. Okay? You people keep trying, and it always ends up in disaster. Okay? It always ends in disaster. Okay? Stop trying to steal from me. Stop trying to rip me off. Okay? That never ends good for the people doing that, folks. Never ends good. And I've had enough of having to repeat myself on, don't do that. No, it's just destruction now for those, because they have not made any attempt to say, apologize to me personally, restore sevenfold, none of that. So, and I've had 2 people that repented, but it was not genuine, because they have not changed their behavior. They have not they have not had a change of heart, folks. Anybody saying publicly that they're saved or they're anointed, no. The true anointed don't go around saying that, folks. They just don't. Because they don't need external confirmation for that, because they know internally. Just like God will tell you who your spouse is, who your God-ordained one and only spouse is. You'll know. It'll be an internal feeling, and it won't be validated by external forces, okay? Because it doesn't have to be. Okay? Anybody looking for that outside validation, not sent by God, folks. Okay? That's not, Okay? God's true anointed, no. Okay? They won't have to put on a show. And they won't have to declare that they're saved. Because that means that you're not. Okay? That's like the number one sign that you're not saved, is telling people that you're saved. Okay? And that's the number one sign of not being anointed, is trying to tell the public that you are. Okay?